Welcome back, everybody. This is My Journey 4K. We are back in IMSA in the Fixed Series in the Dallara P217. Let's get into it. It looks like Casey Kerwan is in this race. I think that is somewhat significant. We started this race supposed to be in 8th place, but we actually started it spun off the track, way behind everybody else in our LMP2 field. GT3 cars just catching us now. We were supposed to start in 8th, but we are not at all in 8th place. We're going to have to start from the back of the field here. Strength of the field today is a 29.49. Our rating is a 10.56 coming into this race. It is a 35-minute race. It is an A license requirement for entry. We do not know exactly what happened at the start of that race. The replay didn't start us. At the beginning of the warm-up lap, and you can see some damage in the back and front of our vehicle currently. We're going to be struggling with damage a little bit, it looks like. I'm sure that didn't help the tires spinning off track. So we really do have a long ways to go in this race. It is a 35-minute race. We will be required to stop once for fuel. And we will probably take on tires we haven't figured out by now that we can double stint. Looks like we're catching this blue, pink, and white car in front of us. Maybe that's red, hard to tell. Coming into the chicane at the end of lap 1, closing the gap to the car in front quite a bit. Maybe we'll get by turn 1 here. Could at least get one of our positions back. Doesn't look like we're going to make the move into turn 1. 13th in class. Car in front did make a mistake though, coming out of turn 1 and allowed us to get by cleanly, it looks like. We shouldn't have any issues now. Besides the car's damage that we have taken already, tires should be up to temp now. We should be able to push. Hopefully they're not damaged from that spin before the race started, or at least our replay started. I don't think it was our fault, but I could be wrong. I don't really remember making the mistake of losing control on the warm-up lap where I had come in contact with anyone. I know that I did it early on, but didn't make contact. And was able to just rejoin. I didn't see that in any of the replays. Car behind moving very slowly, not sure if they have an issue or not. I think they just know they don't have the pace or something. They're new to the track. With an average of a 29.49 rating, we have a decent chance for points here. Says we're 13th in class. We should be a little bit further up than that. Starting to close the gap to the green and blue car in front of us now. Even with our damaged vehicle, we're running okay laps. Oh, two cars got into each other. Turn 1. That'll be two more places to gain. We did come into this lap in 12th place. We should be in 10th currently. Hopefully, we have the pace to keep that going. Even though our car is damaged, we're probably going to be looking to get into the pits as soon as possible to try and get some of that damage repaired. Closing the gap to this blue and green LMP2 car in front of us now. Gonna start to put the pressure on them pretty soon. Looks like we ran a 2:05.99. Last lap with this damage. A little bit of smoke ahead maybe. Doesn't look like any sort of incident that will benefit us. Well, we had to start this race basically in last. We qualified 8th. Car in front of us going a little wide into the dirt there. Blue and green car maybe losing a little bit of control there. It's going to allow us to close the gap rather quickly. Coming into turn 1. Looks like we are in 10th. We're going to go defensive on the inside, it looks like. We've closed the gap. We've got to run on them. We're going to get side by side, flashing our lights, coming into this turn at the end of the Camel Straight. We're going to go side by side in the S's here. We have taken a little bit of damage. Their car looks pretty clean. We're going to do a crossover on them and get to the inside of this corner, it looks like. Are we going to make it stick? We're still side by side. Battling hard here. Gonna have to let up a little bit to get a better exit out of this corner. We're gonna get him on the inside here, it looks like. Looks like we have a much better run. We should be clear now. There we go. 9th place. Starting from last. They're gonna try and make a move coming into this turn here into the S's. They do not have it. We didn't really take much of a defensive line. I don't think we needed to. We're going to have a good enough exit here, I think, to start to open up the gap a little bit more. Breaking into the top 10. Who is this purple car catching? Not sure where they're coming from. They do seem to have quite a bit of pace. Pretty good battle from this car. Behind us, we'll see if they try and make a move. Doesn't look like they're going to try and make a move. Getting on high on the curb there. We'll be okay for a little bit. We're going to try and pull over hard to get them out of that draft. They're going to try and pass us again to turn 1. We'll see if we can do a crossover here. This purple and white car had caught us quickly. They might have a run on us here. They've been catching us now for a little bit. This is going to get hairy up here. We are going side by side. We've got to run on this blue and green car here. Purple car is going to need to let off. They're also side by side with them. Purple car is going to go to the inside of us here. We locked it up just a little bit. See if we can't maintain our position or not. Is the battle for 10th place. Currently, flashing our lights. We're gonna have to try and make a move on the other side now. purple and white car that was catching us is now past and increasing the gap. But this blue and green car is still just barely maintaining position. They're definitely fighting for it. We're going to need to take a good close look at where that opportunity is going to present itself. We ought to be able to close this gap within the lap. I think they're having issues out of turn 1. And are not able to get as much speed into the Camel Straight. Nearing 11 minutes in, we should be seeing the pit window open soon. We might be pulling in. There we go. We want to stop as early as possible. Took a lot of damage early. Gonna lock them up a little bit coming into the pits. A little over 11 minutes in. That'll leave us about 24 minutes to the end of the race. We are going to take on new tires. That is definitely not the best strategy here anyways. We want a double stint in Spa. We do figure this out later. But right now we're going to have 4 fresh tires, waiting a little bit of extra, it's just a couple seconds. Get that little bit of extra damage repair. Coming out of pit lane soon. I think it looks like it's going to be clear in front and behind. We did pull in the pits in 11th. Battling hard for 10th place. About 23 minutes remain in the race now. We'll have to see what position we come out in when we cross the line. Most likely last. We're probably one of the first to pit. We needed it to try and fix that damage. Hopefully we can put a few more tenths in on, cut that time down on our lap times. Going a little hard on that curb there. We do have 4 fresh tires right now, so we will need to warm them up for the first lap on our out lap here. Since we basically pitted as early as possible, we're going to have a pretty clean track in front and behind for a little while. But since we pitted early, we'll probably see the hypercars catch and pass us. And we'll have to deal with that twice. We will only have to catch and pass the GT3 field once though. It says we're in 13th. It'll need to update when we cross the line soon here quickly. Let's see what it says. 14th place currently. No, 13th still. That is probably last in our class currently. We were one of the first to pit. We pitted in 10th. I believe. We should be gaining a few of those spots back in the next 10 minutes or so as pit lane starts to come to a close. Thirteenth position currently. Can still see a little bit of damage in the front and back of our vehicle. We aren't certain exactly what happened. It's possible we lost control or somebody else lost control on the warm-up lap and sent us off soon. Not long before the bus stop chicane, the last 2 corners before the race starts. Since we're the second class, the leader in the very first class in the hypercars gets to choose when to really start once the pace car pulls off. So we sort of start back a little bit, and we're starting the race by the time we're coming into that chicane. GT3 cars will start even further back, most likely on those straightaways behind the bus stop chicane. Near Puan, I believe it's called. Looks like we're still in 13th in our class. Nobody's pitted yet. We're seeing the GTP start to catch us. This yellow Cadillac is probably the leader. All of these cars will need to pit still. I'm wondering if maybe they'll choose to pit after this lap or the next one to try and avoid traffic. Still have plenty of time in the race. Try and close the distance and gain some more of those spots back. Not the best start for us when we're starting off the side of the track when everybody else is moving. Looks like our pace is okay. I maybe would have expected the Cadillac to be catching us by now, especially the leader. Should be a pretty clean pass coming up here. We have a little bit more pace than us here. Pushing us a little wide, but we'll be able to come back and grab some of that draft. Second and third starting to catch now. They may be battling each other a little bit. Oh well, it's a tiny bit of time between them. 17 and a half minutes in. They're still pretty close to each other, battling pretty hard, it looks like. Looks like we're running 2:05.6s at least the last lap. This will probably go up a bit because of these GTPs. Hoping some of them choose to pit soon so that they don't slow us down. BMW isn't going to, and neither is the Cadillac behind. We didn't know initially when they were going to pass. So we got out of the way when we realized. Still in 13th place. This is 3rd place in an upper class. They're not in our class, so we will not need to defend this position from them. Just trying to stay out of the way and keep the race clean. Looks like we haven't gained another spot back yet in the pits. Hopefully soon. It'll be a few laps though before pit window actually starts to close. A lot of BMW hypercars on screen now. A lot of BMWs and Cadillacs in this race, it looks like. These cars should have no problem getting to the inside. We want to get back to that racing line if we can. Kind of pushed us a little bit wide. Gonna make us slightly slow on this exit. I want to be on the racing line. They're gonna get to the inside of us. We'll slow them down slightly, but I think we're going to be alright on exit. Cadillac catching pretty quickly. We're going to stay to the side here for them. Another clean pass for us. Pretty good so far. That shouldn't have cost us too much time this whole lap. 6 cars have passed us now. Don't see another GTP for quite a while. They're starting to pull off and take their pit stops now. They'll need to pass us again eventually. And that will be quite a few laps from now though. We don't need to stop for fuel or tires. Don't know who that is in front of us. I think that was the red Wheelan that was in second or third. The Cadillac that I think is in front of me. Pretty empty field behind. You can see the BMW just showing up there. That's another hypercar. Not in our class. We won't be defending against them or battling them in any way. Pretty clear air in front of us. Hopefully our lap times are looking good. Well, now that these hypercars are starting to catch us, I kind of would assume some of them would pull into the pits. Pit window's gonna be closing in the next couple laps, I think. Maybe 2 more laps at the most. We won't need to worry about that though. We should have fuel all the way to the end. Still in 13th, it says in our class. Some of these LMP2 cars should be pitting soon, if not now. We could be seeing a few new positions soon. GTP cars behind us aren't going to bother passing. They're going to pit now. They'll probably end up passing us near the end of the race. Don't see any cars in pit lane. Oh, we're going to lose control in turn 1. It does say we're in 12th, though. A little bit of a spin in turn 1. Car behind us is a yellow Cadillac. Not in our class. Again. I mean, besides starting the race on the side of the track, that looks like our only error thus far. Couple hypercars showing up in the background there now. I would assume they will pit soon. And they probably won't need to bother trying to pass us. If they do, hopefully it happens on one of these straights. I think we're still going to maintain 12th. I didn't see anybody pass us when we lost control coming out of turn 1. Slid and skid to the side. There's a Cadillac and an Acura and a BMW. All hypercars catching us right now. Cadillac will have caught us and passed now. Says they're in 5th overall. When they started this lap anyways. I didn't see anybody pass them or pass me this whole time, so probably still the case. This would be 6th place, the Acura catching now. Hopefully they can get by before these next corners and not send us off the line, off the racing line at all. Looks fairly clean. I believe they all still have to pit. Starting to see the GT3 cars just ahead. I'd expect to see some LMP2 cars in the pits now. 24.5 minutes in. We're getting the blue flag because of these hypercars. Let's see the marshal. The blue flag. We're currently 11th in class now. We did make another pass in pit lane. BMW's catching us. We're going to let them by to the inside here. Try and catch that draft. I ain't too worried about it. Just about 25 minutes in. About 10 minutes remain in the race. Red wheeling Cadillac starting to catch us now. These could be the actual leaders here. Not sure if these GTP cars have taken their pit stops and come back out and have started to pass us again, but maybe it is true. GT3 car just ahead, starting to hold up some traffic. We're going to have to take this one wide because of the GTP car there. They were on the inside of us when we wanted to duck in and take that racing line. Starting to see a bit more GT3 cars now. BMW just in front of us. Some hypercars starting to catch behind those two BMWs. More BMWs. Looks like a little bit of contact. We did send them around maybe. Not gonna slow us down or harm our car too much, it looks like. We did apologize. Didn't give us the car contact there. I think because they were slowing down because they were GT3 car. Not really their fault completely. Some GT3 cars just ahead, battling side by side. We're looking to get by this Mercedes. Looks like we will get by this one. But this side by side battle in front is gonna hold us up maybe. Currently in 11th, we've got hypercars catching as well. They're going to go to the inside and also struggle to get by the GT3 cars. Looks like we're going to have to go 3 wide. We're in between. Getting hit by the GT3, getting hit by the GTP, the hypercar, and sending a GT3 off track. That one is going to count against us. Although we were in the middle and didn't have much choice. Trying to race clean. Those two BMWs passing us didn't give us much room going 3 wide. Yellow Cadillac is catching us now. They shouldn't have a problem passing us in this straight. What a mess. Couple errors happened in this race, it looks like. Not completely sure if that was all our fault. We were in the middle of a 3 wide. Trying not to freak out, but also give everybody room. And not enough room was given. Contact was made. Since we're in 11th in our class, just over 29 minutes into the race. Pit window should be closed now. We were supposed to start the race in 8th. The GT3 car's just ahead now. Don't know if we're gonna get to make this move. We did try. Couldn't outbreak them. We're gonna have to go to the inside here. Another hypercar looking to get by as well. We're going to take the inside line. Force them off a little bit. They're going to go into the grass now. GT3 car off in the grass just in front of us. Not an issue we caused. Not sure what happened there. White LMP2 car you can see just behind us now. We are in 11th. Some cars going wide in these corners. Couple Ferraris just ahead of us. The GT3s are going to get in the way. In these S's, the BMW wants to get by as well. It's going to be tough to go 3 wide again in these corners. We're going to let that hypercar make some room for us. Looks like we'll be able to get a decent exit out of that corner. Hopefully not losing too much time. We can get by another GT3 before Huan. Let's see, yellow Cadillac's going to start to catch us as well. Let's see if we can update on our position. We were 11th in class. Still in 11th, it looks like. Looks like the yellow Cadillac is starting to catch us now. We can see one GT3 car just ahead. We might be able to get by the whole field before the end of the race. Maybe clearing things up for us a little bit. What place is this Cadillac in? It's hard to tell. Looks like it may say 5th. Let's see if we can let them by before we catch this other GT3 car. You can see a group of hypercars behind trying to pass the white LMP2 car behind us. Trying to get by this GT3 cleanly. We're going to take the racing line here. We shouldn't have any problems now. Several hypercars needed to get by. Looks like we let them by cleanly. But that white LMP2 car is slowly catching us now. Looks like we're still 11th in class. Still have some car damage from the very beginning of the race. I'm not sure what caused all of that. You can still see the damage on the left side in the front. I'm gonna squeeze by that GT3 car on the inside just before the S's. We still have a few second gap to that car behind us in our class, but you can see him there now. A bit clearer. Another GT3 car in the way. We're gonna try and get to the inside. Nope, we're not gonna pass on that corner. Gonna hope for the better exit and pass them before the next turns. It looks like things are a little bit clear in front of us now, although that white LMP2 car is starting to catch and close that gap. They have one more GT3 car to pass before. Looks like it might slow them down a bit, at least a little bit. Still says 11th in class for us. Not much time remaining in the race. The time's gonna expire soon. We should get the white flag this time by. There it is, the white flag is waving. This is the last lap. You can see some GTP cars behind us passing that LMP2, probably slowing them down in that chicane. Pretty decent out of turn 1. Those hypercars behind us are battling for position. Still says 11th in class at the moment. You can see the 3 hypercars in between me and the next car in 12th in our class. I'm not sure I completely know that they're there yet. Cadillac, BMW, and Acura just behind us in that order. It looks like a little bit of dust back there. BMW is trying to make a move on the Cadillac. It is a close race between them, not much of a gap at all. You can see the yellow lights on our cars indicating low fuel. We stopped as early as possible. We're probably a little bit worried about running out. The Cadillac and BMW are going to get by us fairly cleanly. They want to go side by side. Hopefully it doesn't disturb us too much. And Acura is also going to try and get by before the end of the race here. They probably see an opportunity ahead of them. Looks like that's 4th, 5th, and 6th. All the way to the end of the race. We started this race in 8th. We actually finished in 10th overall. Our rating went from a 1056. We lost 1 and went to a 1055. Well, not much to gain or lose here, but great experience. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time.